The Chieftain Mark VI, a Tier 10 British collector heavy. A vehicle which is absolutely fantastic if you know what you're doing. I am one of the biggest fans of Hesh firing guns. I love the Charlemagne. It's one of my favorite Tier 8 in the game. I love the Caliban. I love the Conqueror. The Cobra is one of my favorite Tier 9s. In general, Hesh firing vehicles are so fun because you trade premium penetration for skill rounds, meaning that you have to pen with less alpha, or not less alpha, less pen, but you get more alpha. So it's a trade-off, but it's a very rewarding trade-off if you make it work. The Chieftain Mark VI is one of the best examples of this. I only had my camo on for one season. Well, that sucks. It's not that big of a deal, but yeah, we'll see. Now I look like a noob. Either way, we're going to head into position here. Chieftain is a fast tank. It achieves a top speed of, well, with double gear oil, which is what I'm running, 48 kilometers per hour. Now, I could run improved fuel, which would allow my tank to achieve a higher top speed. However, the reason I'm not running improved fuel and I'm running double gear oil is because the reverse speed is much faster, and I'd much rather be able to reverse quicker than the opposite. So let's aim it on the side of that VK72. There you go, nice 378. Our Foch is able to get a pretty nasty bleed there. We can already see that VK72 trying to move up as well. And we have another Foch. Okay. Well, we got the 57 Heavy. We got the Badger. They got a lot of tanks. And I am obviously a bit cautious about that grill. But we're going to poke him and get a, 599 high explosive into that grill. That is a lot of damage. And by the way, we're not done. We got another HE aimed on that grill. There you go. 537. 2 shots. We did over 1,100 damage to that tank. And you can start to realize where the Hesh output, look at that, 499 into that VK90. I mean, that is actually a little bit insane when you think about it for a moment there. The damage output, again, this tank is able to achieve is quite ridiculous. And look at the reverse speed. As I said, the reverse speed that I have on this tank is kind of unmatched. It's a little ridiculous. There you go. Another nice shell. Progetto does shoot me back, but I don't really care that much. We're going to push up here. The 57 Heavy is now on reload. We get a nice shell into that player, clearing them from the game. Well, we got the VK72 over here. We're going to aim in a high explosive on the side of the VK. Nice 588 max roll, which is obviously really good, and our teammate gets the clear. All right, well, now we have to load standard ammo to try and pen the VK90. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter how good my tank is, I can't pen the VK90 on the front. But that's why I get to his side, I load in a high explosive, and cut right through. There you go. That first game was such a good example of the Hesh. I mean, we just ruined the enemy team. I don't know what our average damage was there, but we did 4,200 in an incredibly short amount of time, which is a little wild, again, when you realize just what the Chieftain can do. It's such a good vehicle. Now, let me actually put a camo on all the slots here. I also do love the camos. It has 2 really, really solid options. I do have to say, though, I think the Custodian looks just a little bit better. But yes, you saw such a good example there of where the Chieftain's mobility, DPM, and accuracy all paired into this one great vehicle just are amazing. And it has armor, too. Like, that's the best part. It actually has armor. Unlike the 2 and 5B, which is this really, really annoying tank to work because it's rear turreted, it has 7 degrees of gun depression instead of 10 like the Chieftain, and its armor is absolutely terrible in most situations. This tank kind of has that flexibility that the 2 and 5B doesn't, and it has tungsten! I mean, the fact that you can roll people for over 500 damage when loading high explosive on average because of the tungsten is crazy. So here we go again, move it into the front line. We can see the good mobility here. Again, that double gear oil definitely allowing us to achieve very, very good speeds, and we are already up the hill, which is really, really nice. So we're going to chill here, and so far, we haven't actually seen anything, which is a little weird. There we go, we have the enemy 60 TP, which I got a nice 420 shell into. I'm going to back up before anything else can happen. That's pretty good, though. 420 damage for no trade. You have the enemy STB, who's also been bled quite heavily so far. Alright, well, I mean, our AMX M4 is chilling over there. I'm going to hopefully... Oh, Interesting. We got the IS-7 right there. Look at that. 446 high explosive right into his tank. I'm mostly worried about the Grill 15 and the 4005 rather than the IS-7 or the 60 TP. Because, as we all know, when it comes to Dead Rail, it's not the heavies that are the problem, it's the tank destroyers. So we're going to poke this bush one more time, and we'll see what we can do. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, there's the IS-7. Okay. Well, might try and just go for this. But the IS-7's looking at me, and I also need to be, again, very careful about the tanks on our side. IS-7's going to back off, and it looks like our 268 got a pretty good bleed. There's just not much going on, but there you go. The grill is spotted, and we actually got a bounce from the 4005. Yeah, there you go. 4005 shot me again, but I did want to get a nice high explosive into these Rinocerante. Let's aim in again. There you go. Yeah, you're doing great, bro. That was a super, super good play from you. Wow, Matthias, that was so good. Please, explain to me how skilled you are. I can't, bro. Alright, let's aim it on the lower plate of the 60. There you go, nice 424. You know what's funny is we just got shot for 400. Now, I can tell you exactly what shot me. My brain has done some thonking. I think the vehicle that shot me over there was actually a Caro, because we got a 380 bounce. And I thought to myself, well, maybe it was a 4005 APCR, but no. There's actually a Caro 45 ton camping in that bush right there. Which means the fort, yep, there you go. There it is. Wow, what a skilled player. Well, let's aim it on the side of that car with a high explosive shell, and boom, 566. Again, look at that alpha damage just pouring out of this vehicle. You really can't deny that the alpha on this tank is just insane. That was a 424, which was a bit less, but we're already up to 3,300 damage at this point, which is pretty good. So indeed, it was actually a Caro that was camping in their spawn, and the 4005 is off to this flank of the map. Well, I can't say I'm that surprised. When we play Blitz and we expect good things from our teammates, well, I just don't at this point. Let's get a nice AP into the 4005 and drive into cover at least a little bit. We can obviously work this tank on a ridgeline fairly well, and I'm just waiting for the 4005. There you go. Nice 466, and once again we back into cover. Yeah, that didn't go too well for you, did it now? No, it really didn't. Well, there you have it. That's the Chieftain. 2 incredibly solid games, and this is why the tank's so good. Again, I got a lot of Hesh pens out. I shot the Rhino. I did actually get a Hesh. I penned the lower plate of that 60 TP with a Hesh. I shot the side of the Caro multiple times. Like, if I was in a tank like the Concept 1B this game, I would have done fine, right? But I definitely wouldn't have done 4,200. You have 3k DPM, you have Hesh, you have accuracy, and you have mobility. And the gear oil alone is incredibly influential. These two abilities allow me to reverse at a whopping 21 kilometers per hour, which is insane. People underestimate how overpowered reverse speed is. But the fact that I can shoot a heavy and back up into cover faster faster than it can accelerate is crazy. So I do love the Chieftain. It's always going to be one of my favorite tier 10s. And while I am a little disappointed that Wargaming removed the old gun it had, I have to say I enjoy this gun a lot more. I enjoy the fact that it has tungsten and the fact that it has gear oil a lot more. But you can let me know your personal feelings, comments, and opinions down below. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video as much as I enjoyed this gameplay, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!